Hi there Booktube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing a tag video, and it's all about me. It is the Booktube edition All About Me tag. I was tagged by the lovely Rachel at Calanardi, I believe. That's how we say her name on her channel. And so I'm going to talk to you all about me, which isn't very interesting, I'm afraid, but I shall try and get a few fun facts in there. Question number one is, what do you study and what is your job? Okay, so let's go back a little bit. When I left school, I went to university and I did a journalism degree, and I then moved on and worked in magazine publishing for a while, for a number of years. I then moved on to work for a construction company who built a lot of schools, and I did their social corporate responsibility. So I looked after their apprentices, I took people on tours of the site, I did promotional and charity fundraising work, and it was great fun. They were a brilliant company and I absolutely loved it. I then got pregnant 2 and a bit years ago, or no, nearly 3 years ago now, and I had my beautiful daughter Matilda. She's now 2 and 5 months. And I have been a stay-at-home mummy since she was born. I decided not to go back to work. We had quite a difficult time in the first year. She had some medical problems which made it very difficult, and I decided that I didn't want to go back to work after my maternity leave had finished, because I was just starting to really enjoy spending time with her, and I just wanted to enjoy being a mummy, and I was very lucky that I had the opportunity to do that and that we were able financially to do that, and so that's what I've been doing since. And I am currently also working 1 day a week. I am looking to take over, or to help out at least, with my dad's company, and he is a property developer. So lots of different types of jobs, and yeah, just lots of things that I've really enjoyed. So I've had a lovely experience in terms of work life, and I just think it's great to just, you know, I think it's wonderful if you have a vocation and you know what you want to do and you found your niche, but I think there's so many of us out there that really don't know what we want to do, and I just think take the time, try different jobs, see what works for you, and just find out what you enjoy, because life's too short to worry too much about pigeonholing yourself unless you really know what you want to do. Right, so now I've waffled on about that and given you sage advice. Let's move on to question 2. Question number 2 is, what is your favourite social media channel? I'm a little bit backwards when it comes to social media. I'm only on Twitter and Booktube. I'm not on Facebook. I'm rubbish at Instagram. So I would have to say probably Booktube is my favourite social media, or if that doesn't count, because I'm not sure if it does, I hope it does, but if it doesn't, then it'd have to be Twitter, because I don't really have any other social media that I use. Question number 3, if you had another channel, what would it be about? Probably about mummy stuff, maybe. Maybe doing stuff about things that new mums might face, and things that I'm facing with a toddler, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, because I'm loving Booktube, and for me as a full-time mum, it's just nice to take a step away and do something different and something that's just about me, and be a bit selfish with it. So I don't think I'll be starting a new channel anytime soon. Question 4, do you play any instruments? No, unfortunately not. I like a good old sing-song in the shower and the car, although I don't think I'm very good at it, and I'm constantly being told by Matilda to be quiet. So I think that's, you know, she's my harshest critic, so I think probably not the best singer. But I played the piano when I was younger, but I can't remember any of it now. I really struggle to retain certain information, like I can't learn languages. I'm rubbish at learning languages, and although I took piano lessons probably for about 4 or 5 years, and I got up to, you know, grade 4 or 5 or something, can't remember anything now. Put me at a piano. I know what the notes are, but I couldn't tell you which ones they were. So unfortunately no instruments. Question 5, what hobbies do you have other than reading? I like to sew. I got very addicted to the Great British Sewing Bee TV series a few years ago. The first series, there's been quite a few series since, and I became an avid sewer. I have my own sewing machine. I've made some of my own clothes, and the only problem is it takes a long time and you have to really concentrate, and having a little one, that makes that a bit more difficult, and having a space to do it. So at the moment I haven't done any sewing for a little while. I mean, I can mend things in little bits, but I'm hoping to get back to that at some point when she's a bit bigger and she's at school and there's other things going on. Then I'm hoping to get back and doing a little bit more of that. I also love to cook. Recently I've been cooking some more sort of sweet stuff, but actually I really love making savoury food. Savoury is my first love, so curries and stews. I love anything Mexican. Me and my husband both love really spicy food, so I love to cook. I also really like to go to the cinema and see films when I can. Often I go on a Tuesday night because it's half price ticket night here, and I'll go with a friend. It's a nice way to catch up with a friend and I get to see a film. Next up is, what are your favourite TV shows? There's lots. I loved Firefly when it was on. I like The Vampire Diaries and Originals. I like Downton Abbey, The Great British Bake Off and The Great British Sewing Bee. There's an interior design series that went on where it was a bit of a knockout round, so they had like 10 interior designers and they had to do different projects, and then we lost one every week until there was a winner. I really liked that. I really like George Clarke's Amazing Spaces, which is something in the UK where George Clarke's a TV sort of architect, and he looked at small places that people have built. Maybe it was a home office in the garden, or really interesting original ideas of turning, people have turned milk floats into like caravans and travelling homes and double-decker buses into things, so I really love watching that. I like those sort of things because they're one-off shows. They're like 40 minutes to an hour and you're not investing yourself in committing to watch a whole series, which is hard for me now that I've started Booktube because I want to be reading all the time, so I haven't really been watching as much TV. What got you into reading? I don't think I can really pinpoint that so much. I think when I was younger my parents always read to us, and then later on we always read to them, so reading was always a big part of my life and I just got hooked. I loved going to the library, it was a special treat, and I liked picking out books for myself, and so I was always reading and interested in sort of English and English language. And then I sort of didn't read as much maybe later on. I would still read but maybe not as much, and then as I got older I really got into sort of Twilight and Harry Potter, and they drew me back into reading and I haven't really stopped since. So I'd have to say I've always been reading, and there isn't a moment in my life I can sort of pinpoint to say, oh yeah, that was the point that I started reading. Next is, what are your favourite and least favourite genres? I'm quite a wide loving girl. I don't really like horror, I have to say. I wouldn't pick up horror, and I'm a terrible scaredy cat and rubbish, and I would have nightmares, so I don't watch horror films, and so horror books are probably a no-no for me, but anything else I'll give a go. I just think never say never, try anything. Next is, what books define your childhood? I remember The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. I remember Enid Blyton. I think there was The Wishing Chair, and then there was The Famous Five and The Secret Seven, The Railway Children, Wind in the Willows, all the classics, Secret Garden, Little Princess. All of those books I just loved and I remember from my childhood. In fact, when I got pregnant, it's become a bit of a thing in the UK now to do baby showers, which, you know, is probably quite a new thing. And I said, look, I don't want people to buy us loads of presents with toys and games and stuff. I want her to enjoy, or at least have the opportunity to enjoy reading. So I asked everyone that came to my baby shower to pick their favourite book that they read as a child, and it didn't have to be when they were a baby, it could be anywhere through childhood. And I asked them to pick a book to bring for her, and they wrote on a little index card which slipped inside the book so that it told their story of why they loved that book. So I've got now a massive stack of books that people enjoyed when they were younger, and she's starting to get to some of these now. There was ones like The Tiger Who Came to Tea, which is like a hard, you know, baby book, which is one that she's enjoying now, but they go up to like Heidi and Ballet Shoes and all sorts of great books. So they sort of are very much the type of books that I read when I was younger as well. And then question number 10 is, tell us an interesting fact about you. Rachel's fact was really, really interesting, and about her twin brother, but mine's not going to be that interesting, so I don't, well, I got married in Vegas at the Wynn, that's quite interesting, a bit different. I got married abroad. I didn't want a big wedding. I wanted to have a small wedding. We had about 20 people come over with us, and it was lovely, and it was in a Italian style outdoor courtyard with twinkly lights at sunset, and it was beautiful. I'm not sure if that's an interesting fact or not. I hope you enjoyed my About Me tag, and as I say, if you want to know any more information, you can always ask. I am an open book and happy to talk to people about anything. Anyway, that's it for me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, Booktube.